Johnny Burr and Gunner here. We're here with another Top 5 on Netflix.
I love it.
So for the second week in a row, Bert has no enthusiasm. Moving on to number 5.
I have enthusiasm.
Number 5.
Enthusiasm.
Number 5.
5.
Number 5 is Stargate.
Yay, Stargate.
Yeah, that's why it's number 5.
But it's at Kurt Russell.
And James Spader, and they send them back. They don't send them back anywhere. They send them through this Stargate thing to a planet that's kind of like Egypt.
Yeah,
kinda, because they got pyramids but whatever they said.
They things their noses like Dune.
I don't remember. I don't fucking remember. This sci-fi stuff, kind of Egypt, like James Spader is a fucking scientist and
of Stargate.
Well, they had
people were all
TV
Stargate
shows
crazy.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, there was like Doctor Who. They went all nuts.
But Doctor Who's cool and Stargate's meh.
Yeah.
That's why it's number 5. So moving on to number 4. Number 4 is a really cool documentary called Go Bordello Nonstop.
If you don't know these guys, they're gypsies.
Well, they're this gypsy punk band.
Gypsy punk band.
Like the lead singer Eugene immigrated over here, and
I love when they're like with the live thing when they're the lady's on top of the drum. She's like bang, 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 and they're like holding her up and shit.
But they play some really interesting, kind of different music.
But it's
really good. Yeah, it is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this documentary has all kinds of old footage of them in like New York playing like these teeny tiny little clubs. And them traveling all over the place.
Fire hazard clubs.
Yeah, it's a really good documentary about a really cool gypsy punk band that more people have heard of nowadays. But when the documentary came out, nobody really kind of had any clue who they were.
But they're good.
Yeah,
very good.
Really, the only thing I have to say. So moving on to number 3. Number 3 is Copland.
Yay, Copland.
Yep,
dude.
A fat Stallone, a fat De Niro.
Yeah, they were all fat.
Well, Rappaport wasn't fat.
No,
he's fat now.
Yeah, he's fat now, but he wasn't fat then.
Yeah.
And it wasn't his time to be fat yet.
Who else was in it? Ray Liotta. Harvey Keitel,
Harvey Keitel. Everybody that they could get, they put in this movie,
Yeah, and it was a pretty cool movie. It wasn't nothing great, but
Peter Berg was in it.
Yeah.
And he got his ass beat by a fucking Method Man. Whooped his ass.
Yeah, but it was a pretty cool movie. It's all about, like, corruption and
the one scene that kind of, like, bothered me, and I don't know why, but it kind of just bothered me, is that the one part where Method Man's whooping Peter Berg's ass, and the other cop who's been beat up is laying at he's like, you guys gotta get the units in here quick, the guy's a monster. I'm like, wait a minute. Method Man weighs 150 pounds soaking wet. He ain't no goddamn monster. He ain't no 7 foot tall, 500 pound beast,
Yeah.
I mean, come on. These cops must have been the weakest.
But anyway, it was about this town where all these cops lived.
And he's too stoned.
And Stallone was the fucking sheriff of said town.
Yeah,
Copland.
he was just like your loser local town cop.
Yeah, because something happened and he
because
he had
the girl that he liked or whatever,
something.
She went off the bridge and he jumped in to get her out and busted his ears somehow in the car and everything.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so he had shitty hearing, so he couldn't become like a
real cop.
Like a real cop, but he's a real cop.
Yeah,
I don't know why you would call it like.
But that's what they basically said.
Well, because like they're in New Jersey and he wanted to be a New York cop. You know, why the fuck would you want to be a New York cop anyway? I wouldn't want to. He fucking saved the day. End of movie.
Spoiler, but no real surprise. That's how all movies end.
Come on, I mean, you're never gonna. Oh, you ruined it for me. You mean the good guy won?
So moving on to number 2. Number 2 is Hear No Evil, See No Evil, another awesome Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor movie. Because all their fucking movies they did together were fucking awesome.
Of course they were awesome.
Yeah,
Richard Pryor and fucking Gene Wilder.
Yeah, Richard Pryor couldn't see and fucking. Why can't I keep forgetting his name? Gene Wilder can't hear.
Yeah. He can't.
So it was basically. And don't they get accused of something or?
Oh, like murder or something. Because,
so they gotta.
Because some guy he was in the little wherever the fuck Wilder was doing his paper route or whatever. He was at the paper stand. The guy gets killed. He had his back turned the whole time, and then didn't Pryor come in and trip over the body or
something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's pretty funny. The whole movie's pretty good.
All their movies are. And speaking of that, we're moving on to number one. Number one is my all-time favorite Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor movie. It is Stir Crazy.
I know we went a little crazy with the two back-to-back Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor.
They had to be one and two.
I know.
Because they're fucking awesome.
Because they're fucking awesome. Stir Crazy was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, it starts off with these two dudes that are friends.
Yeah.
And they end up in this fucking bank.
Dude, that beginning
because they're doing the fucking chicken thing.
When Richard Pryor's at the dinner thing, and he comes back and realizes that the one lady used half his weed for like what?
The soup or whatever.
Yeah, parsley. Where he's like, what? That was what he's saying. He was like, it was from Africa, 1975 or some shit, or 1967. Yeah. You know, he was like, you know.
But yeah, he was like a waiter.
My stash.
And he was like a waiter, and Gene Wilder was kind of a loser as well. I can't remember exactly what he did. He wanted to do plays.
He was like a store guard or some shit, or so he said, and he tracked that lady down and said that she wasn't wearing anything underneath, but some shit that she stole or whatever. And
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I just remember that they end up there in this bank, and they're doing this fucking job where they're singing.
They went to the bar and figured that New York blew cunt, and they wanted to go out west, so they went out west.
Yeah.
With a shitty ass.
And then they ended up doing this job in a bank where they're like dressed up as chickens, singing and dancing, and then the bank gets robbed, and those two get accused of robbing the bank.
We save money, yes we do.
Yeah. And then they get thrown into like this fucking redneck prison with head guard Craig T. Nelson.
Oh, Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah.
And then they have before Action Jackson.
And then they have a rodeo, and you know, hilarity ensues.
Boy, Gene Wilder happens to be really good on the bull.
Yeah, Gene Wilder was really good on the fucking bull.
But fucking.
Smiling.
I love Pryor fucking hits the fucking board. He's like, yeah! And he's like, oh! But when they got sentenced, when they got fucking sentenced, oh dude, when they're walking into the thing, he's like, yeah, I'm bad. You know,
that whole fucking movie's fucking awesome. That is your homework for tonight, viewers. Your homework for tonight is to go on Netflix and watch fucking Stir Crazy.
You have to.
Yeah, you really do.
When fucking Pryor lit that match on the guy, he's like, oh shit.
Dude, Richard Pryor, I mean, Gene Wilder's fucking awesome, but Richard Pryor made that fucking movie with his face.
I saw an interview with
like when they were talking about the dude getting accidentally castrated or something in the hospital ward. Say what?
Like, that's the cat that operated on me. He's like, Mr. So-and-so, how you go? He's like, die! Fucking gone. I would have been gone too.
Dude, Richard Pryor's so fucking awesome.
Yeah. And then he lit himself on fire. And everyone went downhill from there. He just looked really weird after that.
But he was still fucking funny.
He's still hilarious, yeah, but he just looked off. You know, everything about him was off after that.
Whatever. Now we're on the dark side of Richard Pryor, and that's not where I want to be. I want to be on the happy say what fucking.
Oh, you want to be on the okay side?
Yeah, that's what I want to remember.
Well, I got news for you, Jack. He was jacked on drugs then too.
I know. Well, that wasn't what I was talking about. But that's like whenever I will see Burt Reynolds. I don't want to see him all hunched over with a fucking cane, looking all awful. He will always be the bandit to me in my mind. That's all I want to remember.
He'll always be the bandit with the fucking sweet ass mustache with the fucking 10-gallon hat, going 1,000 miles an hour in his Trans Am.
Giving crap to fucking Jackie Gleason.
Yeah. You son of a bitch.
There's no way you came from my loins.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home and smack your baba in the mouth.
I love that we just sit there yelling at that state trooper and shit. And he was like, hold everything. And he got out of the car and fucking went nuts on it.
So how many times have we talked about Smokey the Bandit on here?
Probably a billion times.
Even though it's not on Netflix, but we still end up talking about goddamn fucking Smokey the Bandit.
Every guy's dream would be to have a black fucking Trans Am with the gold.
Well, everybody from our age and older.
And then running from the cops and just making asses out of them, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, eventually they'd probably shoot you, like in Albuquerque, New Mexico. If you go down
Albuquerque?
Albuquerque. If you go down to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I can't talk.
On that note, we'll see you next week.
Don't go to Albuquerque, New Mexico. They'll just blow you away for nothing. Like, hey, I'm Kevin. How you doing? And then you're riddled with bullets.